This is Blkk, ceezar, and HollywoodBonner show, and this is the one and only HollywoodBonner.
And it is your boy, the infamous Blkk ceezar.
Like the good men would say, let's get started. But before we get started, if you are watching this on YouTube, go ahead and do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe. We normally always say it at the very end, but I'm about to go ahead and say it now. The video haven't started and it's already a good one. So go ahead and start it off right and hit that like button and go ahead and support us, young black African American hard working brothers, and just hit the like button and subscribe
and don't forget to share
the video. And if you listen to this on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anything, just go ahead and share the video and just leave us a good rating.
And actually, on Apple, you can leave us a good rating. So far, a couple people have rated us 5 out of 5. Good thing. And if you're listening on Anchor or Spotify, just download the episode. You download everything else.
Right.
Just download the episodes. Why not?
You download that Lil Baby song or The Baby song.
Exactly.
But nah. Let's go and get right into it. This is episode 3 on financial. And we're gonna go ahead and talk about bad habits on spending money. And we all go through it. We all did some questionable spending. We all went into a store and bought something that we know we shouldn't never bought. We all know.
Or if you like me, you always purchase in McDonald's. Can't help it. You can't help it.
Right. What's today? And the thing is, what that is, and people don't realize, if you go to McDonald's, a fast food place, twice a day, and you go spend probably, I'm gonna say about $8-9. So you spending like $16 to $18 per day, and you add that up by 5. That's some money.
Yeah.
So, and that right there is kind of like bad habit. I mean, that is the start of that's the start of a bad habit as far as like managing money. And it's time for us to learn how to manage our money right. It's time for us to go ahead and get out of that norm of bad spending. And the reason why we using the McDonald's is because that's just a start, and that's a major start, because I struggle with that,
it's a realistic start, because everybody don't shop that much. But you'll be a liar if you say you don't buy McDonald's. Oh, you a dead liar if you don't say if you say you don't buy that. Everybody buy McDonald's,
any fast food, because you go spend and it go add up, and you gonna be looking like, bro, what?
Exactly.
I just had like $200 in my bank account. I'm like, where is it happening? You start looking at your transactions.
175 of it went to food.
Right. You going out to eat, going to fast food. You went to Applebee's. You went to Chili's. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so we got to talk about it. So, as far as like your thoughts on everything with bad habits on spending money or managing money and stuff, what is, go ahead and talk to the people right quick.
So I'm one of those people, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people who sometimes, a lot of times, and all the time, okay, I'm a victim of bad habit spending. Can't help it. I like food. I work at 4 o'clock. I started work 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Mm-hmm. I'm off by 12. I guarantee I'm starting my day off by eating something from McDonald's. Breakfast, of course. Then I end my day getting some type of meal from McDonald's as well. Like I only can say food because a lot of us kind of agree we buy a lot of food, right?
Fast food. Yeah.
But I'm starting to come into this thought that when it comes down to finances, 80% of finances really is discipline with your finances, and 20% is actually management. That's right. is really about discipline, in my opinion. So like if you can't discipline yourself, like for me, for example, it's hard for me to discipline myself to say, hey, you ain't gotta go to McDonald's today, just take you some food from the house.
Right.
Or when even if I do get something from McDonald's, okay, when you go home, you get off at 12, you go home, make you something to eat. Like, it's hard for me to do that because I think, well, I can get this right now, I can hurry up, go home and relax, or I don't have to eat right now, I can wait until I'm done with my first store and then go get something to eat on my way to the second store. Like, I think like that. So I have to be disciplined in a way. But if I believe that if you can be disciplined with your finances, then you'd be okay. You'd be all right.
Right. And if you just, let's just say, if you just take 5-10 minutes out your day and write down all your expenses, what you use for your normal gas, how much you put in your gas per week, your food money and stuff. If you just break down and make a certain amount of spending limit and stuff, you would save a lot of money. But look though, and buying fast food is a bad habit, and that's with your life, not eating good and just spending on fast food. But let's just take fast food out, and he's like, hey, I really don't eat fast food. Put your bad habit of spending in the place of fast food. So somebody told me this. If I didn't smoke weed, you know how much money I would have saved up.
Wait a minute now. A lot of people smoke weed. You're coming from them. Don't do that.
I'm not coming from. I'm just saying. Like, see, the reason I said it because somebody actually told me this. He said, if I did not smoke weed, I would. You know how much money I would have saved up. And the reason I said weed is because that's a habit that you pick up and you get used to doing, and and if most of your money is going towards that, then that is a bad habit basically of money management. And if you want to go ahead and go on the next scale, I gotta buy these Air Jordans every time they come out. How much it costs for a pair of Jordans? I don't like I don't buy Jordans.
For a grown man with my size feet, I wear size 13 at 200. At least 200. At least. It depends on. Well, I think like the Air Jordan 1s is like 180, but it's still like 200, like 200, 250. People are paying a nice amount for Jordans, like they really are.
Let's just say $225 with tax. $225
okay,
with
that's
tax.
Easy to say, yeah. Yep.
On a man's shoe. On a man's shoe. On a man's shoe. $225 with tax, and I don't know. I probably more than what it is normally is, but $225. So a pair of Jordan come out once a month. I don't know. Let's say once a month. So so every month you buy you a pair of Jordans, $225. So you times that 225 by 12, and
if somebody's really out here buying every pair of Jordans every month, I question you a whole lot.
It's a lot of people
because
buy,
a lot of people do that and they swear they sneakerheads, but it's not sneakerheads. It's really not. You're not a sneakerhead. You're just a hoarder. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, you're a hoarder. You just, because this is what I'm realizing, especially when it's starting to come down to money, because I'm really learning about assets and liabilities, right?
Right.
Honestly speaking, the moment you buy your shoes, it depreciates value. You pay $200-$300 for some shoes, you only can sell it for, maybe if you bought a pair of shoes for $250, right? You're gonna sell it for $200, regardless if it's brand new or not.
Now I seen this, especially with Jordans. Since we talk about Jordans, you know, people don't realize Jordan use this tactic as they send stores limited supply. Listen to me, they send stores limited supply, so it forced people to go hurry up and get these shoes.
Really?
You see what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
So you wonder why it be a line.
No,
Why?
they don't do lines no more. They do raffle tickets.
Tickets. They do the tickets. Yeah, okay. Now they do tickets. So it's a chance that you can get a ticket, it's a chance that you don't get a ticket. But I ain't trying to go too much off topic, but with Jordans, they like, you know, it's a tactic that they go send this store, Foot Locker, a certain, like, you know, 10 pair or whatever, Champs 10 pair, Finish Line 10 pair and stuff. That's why people going crazy, because they so limited. They like a high commodity, especially the new Jordans, so they gotta run out there and get them. And
I watched a video of, I don't know this guy, but have you seen the guy? He's like, he got dreads, he got tattoos all over his face, and he talked a lot about finances, right? I forgot this guy's name, but he was talking about that. I remember he was saying something about that. He said, have you noticed whenever they come out with Jordans, they really push them in the black community?
Yes.
Right? The black community would be the ones that get the most Jordans. So let's just say if the average mall around the United States is averaging 20 pairs per store, black stores will probably get 30 to 35 or 40 or whatever, because you're guaranteed that money over there. You're going to make the most money in those neighborhoods. Why? Because we are financial illiterate, or we don't have control over our money.
That go back to discipline.
I remember this, it go back to discipline. Bro. And it's more of a psychological thing that
is marketing.
Marketing.
Is marketing. Like, you know, Jordan know they target market. So whose are they biggest consumers?
We are.
So who? So why wouldn't I not push my products to my biggest consumers? Because everybody gotta have a pair of Jordans. They don't buy just one. They buy them a pair, they kids a pair.
Oh my gosh. You would think people was getting ready to take family portraits the way everybody got pairs.
Everybody buying them. But what's the name? And Jordan marketing team is so top notch. It's like they got it figured out. Like,
I think because we're so financial illiterate or irresponsible with our money, I think corporations play on that. Just like you said, it is kind of marketing, but then again, for them, it's more like common sense. Like, for example, when you think about it, a lot of shoes that's popular, who made them popular? We did. The black community made them popular. Like, I remember at one point in time, Lugs was freaking popping, right? Some people started wearing Timberlands out of nowhere, right? Timberlands got up. Then for a little while, Timberlands start declining until for some odd reason it just came back out of nowhere. But once again, we started that. But the Timberland, when the Timberlands was on the downfall, you as a grown man could get you a pair of Timberlands for $60. Now go back and get a pair of Timberlands. Now you paying $160, $170. You see what I'm saying? And I remember me and Tierra, we was in the mall, and this is how bad our spending is, right? We was in the mall, and a lady and her boyfriend, I'm supposing is her boyfriend, they were looking at some Uggs, and me and Tierra walked past, and I looked at these. I said, these are cute, but I wouldn't buy these. They was $80, and I think that was in like $80 or $90 in like, I don't know, baby shoes. So I want to say like 2 or 3, whatever it is. It's like a small baby shoe, right? And I said, I won't buy this, because what's the point of buying this $90 boot when in 3 days my child ain't gonna fit these no more? The lady looked at me and the dude looked at me like, thank you for saying that, because now I just saved me $90. But I'm like, when me and Tierra talked about this, like, dang, our spending really is that bad. We don't think that, like, for kids, you buying kids Jordans and stuff like that. They're kids. They're gonna grow within like 2-3 months. You paying $90, $100 for a pair of shoes that they will not fit, or they will mess up within the next 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? Like, our spending is
parents about to beat them. You mess with shoes up.
Beat them up. It's sad. Like, but we don't think we buy them shoes, then turn around and be like, we ain't got no money for this bill, or we ain't got no money to do this. Yeah, you do. You bought $300 pair of shoes for 3 kids. You had the money, but you spent it on stupid stuff. That's our problem. That's why we can't get ahead.
See, and I just thought about this. It's the marketing triangle, and they basically use that, but kind of going back to what you were saying, yeah, like bad spending habits and stuff, and everything that you buying expensive stuff is liabilities,
right?
Because anything that's taking money out of your pockets, liabilities.
Liability.
So when you sit back, because most of people only got one source of income. Let's just say most people.
Yep.
And that one source of income is the assets that's coming in, the paycheck. So that's the money that's coming in. So anything that's coming in, money's coming in, that's assets. So you got a paycheck coming in. So you go out. Let's say your paycheck is $800. Let's just say $800. Your rent, and something. Your rent $600. So you got $200 left, and you go ahead and don't have to spend no more money on that paycheck, but you got $200. So you basically, that's when that bad habits start to kick in. Instead of putting the $200 back or $150 of it back, you say, okay, I got $200. I'm about to go ahead and spend some money. I'm a pinch on it and pinch on it and pinch on it, and by time,
if you like me, see, I get paid every week, right? So I can bet my check is coming every Friday. But if you like me, you done already spent your check before you got it, because you already know what you about to get. You already know what you about to buy. You already know if you gotta pay a bill. You already know how you gonna do it. Some people, they get slick with their bills, and I'm gonna pay half of this right now. I'm gonna splurge and have this much left. Horrible spending, by the way. If you're doing that, don't do that. But if you're gonna pay a bill, pay it off, because that's gonna mess you up in the long run.
Exactly.
But I know people who do that, but don't do that. That's kind of That's really irresponsible. But you didn't spend your check before you got 10 times out of 10, well, 9 times out of 10 for black people, you spent it. Before you got it in your hand, you already know where it's going.
Yep. And yeah. So check is already spent. Even if you ain't got bills, you already. If you ain't got to pay no bills and you got an extra $500,
oh, you balling,
man. Quit playing. That's gone. That is gone. But check this out. If you are able, say, okay, I got enough pair of shoes to last me for another year. Since you've been buying Jordan stuff, I got enough pair of shoes lasting for a whole year. So I ain't buy myself for no shoes. So that $200, you say $200 $200 a month. You say 200 so at the end of the 12 months, what is that, $2,400?
24, yep.
That's
then you can save you another 200.
Yeah.
200, yeah, 2,400. Then you save you another 200. You have 26, right? That's January. Yeah. February, you get your taxes. February, you get taxes, and you for some people, you guaranteed at least 6,000.
Right.
6,000.
Right. Let's just say you got $2,400 at the end of the year. You saved up.
Okay.
Instead of going out and buying you shoes and clothes, use that $2,500 and invest in some stocks. Buy some stocks. Buy some. Yep. And if you don't know anything about stocks, just do some research.
Research everything else.
You rather lose money on buying you some shoes and you could get a return on your investment.
Well, technically, to make it easier, to really make it easier on people, just with the common things that you have, you understand stocks, right? We literally just said the moment you buy a pair of Jordans, it already depreciates value because you're not going to sell it for the same amount of price that you bought it for, right? There's a high chance, depending on the shoe and depending on if this shoe is a collectible type shoe, because those collectible type shoes, those are more like $500 and up. You can sell it for anywhere from $800 to $1,000. I only know because my brother had a pair of those shoes. I think he had to reflect. It was like some type of reflective gray. I want to say there were 7s. And they had they had red at the bottom. Those are $500, right? Jordan was only coming out with them one time. So the only thing my brother had to do was sit there and hold them and don't wear them. He could have made him $2,000 off $500.
Cause that's
stocks, baby. That's how stocks work. It's the same exact thing.
Exactly.
If you are into jewelry, you into the rap fashion, everybody know about Rolexes, that's cool. You heard of a plain Jane before, that's a Rolex. You know it's just a regular Rolex. The moment you put a bunch of diamonds into a Rolex, you depreciate the value the moment you buy it. But you get you a plain Jane, it appreciates value in time. That's stocks. It do the same exact thing, just about.
Exactly. So I'm gonna tell somebody this. I mean, let me say this. So I went to the bank. So and I was talking to them about if I open up a bank account with a investment, you know, they do the investment. So they said, right now our race is 0.05. So 0.05
per year.
Is it? I gotta look at the paper. Was it per year or per quarter or whatever? But 0.05. When you put your money in the bank to save, like basically saving your money in the bank and stuff, the return on your would be 0.05 at this bank. If you do some research and so if you got $10,000.
Right.
Why would you put those $10,000 in the bank just to get a 0.05 return on your money? Or you could put $10,000 in some stocks, some index funds or whatever, and you could get like 8 to 10% back on your returns.
Oh, why let's not talk about dividends. Oh,
you know, why
you take $10,000 and put into some real estate investment trust funds, or some dividend stocks, or dividends is just stocks that pays you.
Right.
It's just like interest, but it pays you. You take $10,000 on them type of stocks. How much money are you getting back off that $10,000? You have a high chance of making it, at least doubling that 10, at least.
Yeah. And a lot of people be having fear of you taking a risk. If you want to make it, if you want to be financially free, you got to take risk. Regardless of if you want to invest into stocks, if you want to start your own business, you got to take a risk. You got to jump off the bridge. Not like literally jump off the bridge, but let me not say that. Let me not say that.
No, jump off the bridge. Jump off.
Yeah, like you got to take that chance, and if you don't know what you doing, or if you don't know anything about it, do some research, get in contact with somebody that know what they doing. That's why they say, why surround you with people that you smarter than them, or surround yourself with people that smarter than you. Rich Dad
said that.
Surround yourself.
I tell people, get that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Get that book.
One of the, like, a great book to read. And like I said, I was never a big reader, but I read the book, and I told you about the book. I said, bro, you gotta read. That's the reason why I bought the book. I said, but read this book. This just changed my whole life, my whole thinking process. It took me out of that mentality of being a worker to being the owner. So you know, just little things like that and stuff. And but let me ask you this. Why do you think like, you know, we have bad spending habits? Like, why do you think that we was never really taught to manage money?
Well,
if you know, for most of us,
this is my beliefs, and for those who always hear my answers is always something around black people. Trust me, I'm not racist, but I'm black and I understand my people, right? So I feel that we have bad spending habits. I really believe it's because financially, when you really think about it, since we've been in America, we're really just now getting into money. Like literally within this past 21st century. Like your generation X. No, your generation. You're the millennials. I'm sorry. You're a millennial. From the millennials on down to the next generation, we're really the ones who are just now getting into money, right? So you went through slavery, you went through Jim Crow, you went through slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow. You went through all of that, right? We wasn't making money like that. Yes, we had what's her name? The one who did the hair, who hair care products. She was the first black woman millionaire. And forgive me because I forgot her name, but you really just had her. That was it. I mean, you had more, but really just her, right? So versus now, it's young people who's really coming into money, who's making money off YouTube, making money off real estate. We're finding creative ways to make money, right? And because we caught on so late, we never had anybody to really guide us and teach us how financial literacy goes. We don't know, because most people who are financial literate, right, 8 times out of 10, they probably lived in a family of generational wealth already, which dates back all the way back to the slave masters. You know what I'm saying? So they had a head start versus us. We didn't, and we still don't have a head start.
Right.
So I don't think literally it's because we buy McDonald's all the time. I don't really think it's that. I think slavery had a whole point to deal with this. Because before we got to America, you had kings and queens that was rich. You had Mansa Musa. To this very day, Mansa Musa's, who is a king, his money is worth 200 billion, two to $300 billion in worth right now. I think the closest person close to his wealth now is Jeff Bezos. And you know Jeff Bezos is only like 106 billion. He's on net worth that. Like that really. Oh, see, now I gave y'all something to go look up. Go look up Mansa Musa. I just gave y'all something to go look up. That's our history. They don't tell us about.
He gave y'all.
They don't tell us about that. They don't tell us about that at all, right? To this day, Mansa Musa's money still outruns all the white people that you see on Forbes magazine as the richest people alive. They ain't touching him, right? And that's his money today. But I really believe, like, for us, our setback was slavery. So it's not really that our spending habits is bad because we choose them to be. I think it's a mental thing that we have to undo. That's literally what I think.
Yeah. Like I said, and it kind of go back to, you know, when we said it in the other video, the mindset. But another thing with the mindset and stuff, if you don't know better, how would you do better? That's why I say knowledge is power. And if you was never taught on being able to manage your money in an effective way where you can build wealth, then you know. But at the same time, even though certain people that's been in wealth and they family parents taught them how to manage money and stuff, even though they did that, we all have the same opportunity to be millionaires, to be wealthy. It just take us harder, and it might take us a longer way, but it's still possible. But all you gotta do is stuff. Yeah, like it's still possible because I mean, like all you gotta do is just have knowledge, just gain knowledge on the on how these millionaires became millionaires and stuff, and just kind of replicate. Yeah, read a book. It's a lot of how to become a millionaire or how to, what's the name, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like, you know, it's books out there. We just don't want to read them, but it's books out there that actually, if you just sit down and take a book instead of being on Facebook, social media all day,
Instagram, Twitter, looking at nonsense, go read a book.
Yeah, looking at drama, and that's what it is and stuff. And I kind of feel like social media got a big effect on us where if nothing, like if something major as far as like drama or something, it draws our attention. It draws our attention away from different things, especially on the most important things. So but like I said, it's just basically knowledge and stuff, and it start from you. Go ahead and start molding your kids to learn how to manage money. Tell your kids, teach them. If you don't know how to teach them, look on YouTube, read a book, look on Google. Just what's the name? Just start off small.
I seen something where this lady, she said that what she do with her children is this: they clean the house or they do chores, she pay them. Those are their paychecks, right? So she charged them $2 for rent and like $1 for electricity, right? That is their bills and that's their utilities. They pay them to her. Both her kids pay them to her. And what she do is take that money, put it into their bank accounts, right? And she said that what she make them do is like anything pertaining to them, whether it's underwear, socks, or whatever, or even if it's just a game, right? She make them work for it. And then she allowed them to look at their bank accounts. Do you have enough money for this? What are you trying to buy? Well, if you don't have enough money, what are you trying to do to make more money so that you can get this? What are you trying to do? And she said that she started that when her kids were like 5. And the effects, I believe, like, even though that's just a small gesture, the effects on them, they will be, by the time they're 18, money management skills, they will have that. They will probably be like mentally, financially, they'll probably be 60 years old in the mind when it comes to finance, because their mother been training them since they were little. They know how to manage finances. They know what credit is. They know what debt. They know what assets is. They know what liabilities is, because they started so young. So it will be more harder for them to get into debt versus us, or people like me who didn't get into finance until I was 18. I didn't know anything about finances until I was 18 years old, and I'm out on my own. I didn't know anything, and I don't blame my mother for that. I don't blame my father for that. But it's nobody taught us. Nobody taught us.
Basically, it's just time for us to break that generational curse, and it just start young. You know, especially like, you know, how she doing and making them and stuff. Just the small things like that. Yeah. Teach your kids about finance. Teach your kids about credit. As much as you don't care too much about credit, it's time for y'all to check y'all credit score. If you watching this,
I got one better. Get your utilities out your children's name. Get it all their social security. For one, that is fraud. You can't do that. And you messing up their future. You can't be out here doing that.
Yeah,
don't mess up their credit scores because you were so irresponsible with your own credit. Don't try to put Comcast in their name. Don't do none of that. Let's stop it.
They probably did it because, you know, their parents, you know, I ain't like what. But anywho.
I know, but I'm just saying.
But
I understand.
Yeah. Start looking at your credit score. Look at your FICO score. You wonder why you can't get approved for that car and you need a co-signer. Like, that don't make anybody kind of feel like, bro, I need to get my stuff. Do you want to stay in an apartment for the rest of your life? Do you want to pay?
No. Some of these apartments are getting hard to get in. You need good credit scores.
You need good credit.
You need
as much as credit is, honestly, having great credit is better than having money.
Tierra said this. We was talking about that. She said having like liquid cash, that's muscle. That's muscle. Yeah. But credit is power. You can't do nothing if you ain't got no credit.
You ain't got no credit.
You can flex all you want, but if you ain't got no credit, you ain't got nothing.
If you want to open up a business and you got 20% down for a down deposit on a mortgage, let's just say, you know, you do hair. You want to open up you a salon. You got the money for a deposit, but you need a business loan. So they go look at your credit history.
Yep.
And, you know, and they like, if your credit, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it took me to get a little bit like older to start really focus on my credit and everything. I ain't gonna lie. When I was younger, I was young, and I remember I was 19, 20. I had my credit. I think my credit was like 727 at the time. And I seen that. I said, quit playing. So I took that's when I got me them Verizon, them Samsung notes. I didn't have to pay no deposit. Like, I got me, my wife one. I got 2-3 credit cards, and I screwed up. I screwed up.
I still remember my whole credit story. Boy, I remember I ain't never used my credit before, right? So I went to a store called Steinmart. If you're in Arkansas, you know about Steinmart. It's a clothing store. And I had no money, and the lady was like, hey, you want to apply for a credit card? I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to try it just to see. Gave me $500. I'm like, what? Okay. You know, I'm going to go and spend this up. Step number one, that first day I spent $400. Wrong. To begin with, you don't do that.
That's already red flag.
Already red flag right there. And guess what? The banks are now happy because I spent that much money. They, you know.
Yep.
But that's a different story for a different day. But I spent $400. I'm like, cool. You know what? You know, $100 left. Didn't know nothing about credit card usage. None of that. Right. So I started paying on the $400, and I noticed when I paid, my credit score was rising. I think the most I've seen my credit score is like a 690 or something like that, somewhere in that area. I'm like, dang. Well, let me try my luck with another one. I got about 4, 5, 6, 7 more different credit cards.
But that's what. See, look. If you don't know, a lot of people do that when they younger. They get like a lot of like what's like you know I had at that time. I had like a Bank of America credit card. I had a Capital One credit card, and I probably had another one. Screwed myself up. Like I said, I didn't really know nothing about the credit usage. They say they want you to use 30%, but in reality, use 10% or less.
Yep.
Well, use 9% or less of that credit. It's okay to use 30, but use 9% of your credit limit.
And 10 times out of 10, if you and this is what I found out. I found this out. Banks are banking on the fact that you're going to make minimum payments. They're banking on that. They don't expect, they really do not expect, like, okay, with that $500 I got, right? They wouldn't expect for me to pay, they wouldn't expect for me to buy $50 worth of goods. They probably about figured, well, he 18, he probably gonna max it out the first day. They know that because it takes longer to pay off that whole $500, and they're gonna tell you, hey, you know, you can just pay $50 every month. They want you to do that. They want that. And
you know why? I mean, like, you know, it's good to pay. If you can make your at least minimum payments, that's always good.
That's fine.
But people don't realize when you start missing payments, interest start building, late fees start building. I know. I have went through it, so I personally know that a $500 car went all the way up to $800, $900. I know, like I said, I was young and I wasn't really like, I didn't know. All I knew was, hey, I got approved for these credit cards. Man, I want these shoes, or man, I want these clothes, or I want this game. Oh, I ain't got no cash, but I got a credit card. Swipe. Look, what's the name? Like months later, I missed payments, credit score, interest rate, late fees. On down. Yep. Then it got so bad. My old credit cards and stuff closed.
Yep.
I had to, like I said, I closed collections and stuff like that. Even though I paid those credit cards off and everything, but like I said, it just lesson learned. Oh, and collection is a whole different thing. I only paid. I told him, I said, I will pay this off if you take it off my credit. If somebody y'all could go ahead and remove that off my credit score, take that. Now I don't know
how true this is, and I'm not no financial guru, nothing like that. I'm learning just like everybody else. But I've heard this, and I heard it from a lot of different people. They say that the moment a collection agency buy out the account that you went negative in, so you said Bank of America, for example, if you went default on that credit card, let's just say Midland Funding, who is a what are they called, collection agencies. I know, trust me, I know. But Midland Funding, they come buy that $500, they're really paying like $100 for that account.
Yep.
And they call and harass you to pay the other $500. But I found out that once a collection agency buy out an account, you don't technically owe nobody, because technically they just bought that. They just bought your debt. Now at this point, they say you free and clear from that. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but it makes sense to me. I mean, I should know anybody. You paid that, not me. I didn't ask you to come in and pay that.
Right. Because they buy the accounts and they keep it active. Because if the collection sit for a period of time, it will eventually fall off your credit. It's
7 years.
Your credit. Yeah. So, but I don't know. I don't know how we even got to talking about credit. But what's your final thoughts?
Final thoughts is we got to get out this rut that we in financially and start becoming wealthy. We got to stop making irresponsible purchases. We have to stop doing irresponsible things with our money and invest it in positive things. So start investing in some type of liabilities. I don't care if you're purchasing a camera, but you're going to use this camera to start your YouTube. That's an asset to me, because you can possibly make money off that camera. So like,
spend money to make money.
We got to spend money to make money, and we have to start putting our money to things that makes us money. So and start young. Start young. Please, if you have children, start them young, because it helps them, and it technically helps us as well, because they are our future, literally. So how we do them now determines how our future will be. So we may be able to get our Black Wall Street back if we start young, so stop wasting your money on stupid stuff. Stop buying Jordans, because he's gonna come out with the same shoe every 2 years.
That's what I never understood. You bought the same. You bought the same 11s that came out 2-3 years ago, or like I said, y'all buying the same shoes and they just bringing them back. See, that's why I said Jordan is I can't even do nothing. I can't even do nothing but just go ahead and give my kudos to them, because they just finessing everybody with the same shoe, or the same shoe, different colorway. No. Sometimes the colorways be the same as that colorway. Yeah. Like the 12s, Chinese New Year's that came out last year, they were white gold. Like the base of the shoe was white, and you had it trimmed out in white and gold, right? I think this year it was white, and like where the gold was, the red was there. You know what I'm saying? They made like little small changes, but they still cost the same amount. Like, you might as well kept the last shoe you just got. That's stupid. Why come out and buy these other ones? My thing is, why change up? Why do something new, but the old thing is working?
It still works. At this point, I feel if you still buying Jordans every month, you just doing it to impress somebody. You're not literally.
And that's what I was gonna say in my last final thoughts. You just took what I was about to say. We need to get from the mindset from I gotta show out, or I gotta have these things to get back what's the word? Notice. I gotta buy these things to get notice and recognition from people. Stop doing that. And that's all. Like I said, you ain't gotta get notice or whatever from all these people on Facebook and stuff like that and stuff. So and that's another flaw. That's another thing that's holding us back. I have to impress everybody. Stop having that mindset. Stop buying things to make yourself look good to other people. You should not care what other people think about you. If you ain't sleep and you making $100, if you can't make $100 while you sleeping, and I'm talking about just, and I ain't talking about like physically, mentally doing anything. If you can't make $100 sleep without doing nothing and legally, like it's legit passive income.
Yep.
Like, why are you going out and buying Chargers, Challengers, and you can't even afford them? I don't,
Oh yeah, you really can't afford them. You know what? It ain't because it's high price. It's because half of y'all got bad credit, and they charging y'all 20% APR. So now instead of paying $150 on for your car note, you're paying $500-$600 for your car note.
I talked to this
and
lady.
Half of y'all getting those.
I was talking to this lady at the Dodge dealership, and she told me, she was like, because I was talking to her because see at first I kind of wanted a Chrysler 300, but I don't want a Chrysler 300 no more. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna go to say what I want, and my wife she a hater. Everybody might call me whack, or everybody might call me that car suck. I don't care. I like the car. I like the truck, the SUV. But now I like the 2021 Nightfall edition of the Telluride. I will begin that.
I gotta go
2021 Nightfall, not the standard edition, the Nightfall edition of a Kia Telluride, and it's an SUV. I'll be done with school next year. I might not get it next year because I got other things that I really want to focus on. But in the next 3 to 5 years, I plan on, and by the time it might be a 2024 or whatever. But if it's if Kia's still producing them boys and how I like it, I'm planning on paying cash for me, something like that. But that's just me. But that's after I even get me a house and
right.
And my money is just coming in. Like, I got money coming in, multiple different sources of incomes. But that's anywho, that's off subject. But yeah, stop trying to oppress people. Stop trying to I gotta have these shoes, or I gotta have this car, I gotta have the. Stop trying to portray a lifestyle to make yourself look like you winning for people. Sometimes the best character on TV that I ever seen was Power Ghost. I respect him, and wasn't it because he wasn't the type to be showing off every little thing. So he wanted to stay low key and discreet. Sometimes you got to be discreet. Sometimes, but yeah. I'm just talking now. but knowledge is power. Change your habits. If you know you got a bad habit with spending on buying shoes, clothes, and it's unnecessary, and it's different if you need it, but it's another thing even that you want it and you don't really need it. Or keep
buying auto parts for a car that don't work. I know a lot of people that do that too.
I did that. On my old car, on my old Grandam, I kept buying all this different stuff. I was spending $300-$400 to get my car fixed and wasn't fixing. I gave up and I got a new car. And I said, you know what? I'm just wasting money on this car. But if you like what we have to talk about, and if you actually stayed this far, I really appreciate you. I appreciate you for watching the video. I appreciate you for supporting the channel, supporting us. If you watching this on YouTube, just go ahead and leave a like, comment, and share, and subscribe. And if you on the other platforms, listen to this on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever and stuff, just go ahead and give us a nice rating and downloads, and share it. So this is the one and only HollywoodBonner,
and it is your boy, the infamous Blkk.
And have a wealthy mindset. But we're gonna catch y'all on the next one.
Peace.